The collaboration between humans and machines has become paramount to drive productivity, innovation, and efficiency. This intricate interplay between human expertise and machine capabilities needs harnessing to empower the workforce, enhance their skills, and address the challenges and opportunities presented by the smart industry revolution. Our final panel session will be moderated by our very own Kevin Namunwa, DX content writer at DX5. The panel will seek to investigate ways to create a harmonious and adaptive work environment as they tackle the human-machine collaboration and how to enhance workforce skills in the era of smart industry. Kindly assist us in welcoming Kevin Namunwa.
To our event today. I hope that you are all having a great day, an informative session that has been so far. And we are here to even give you more information and to engage you in more discussions around technology and how technology can be used to improve manufacturing. So I have 4 panelists. 2 are joining online. There's Edgar and Dominic joining online. And I'm here with Carol from Schneider Electric and Isaac Mwangi. So I can say that the AI has done a great job in trying to introduce me, but it didn't get my name's pronunciation very well. It's Namunwa. I'm African. So since we're all Africans, I'm going to give the stage to my panelists to introduce themselves as well and how we will pronounce your names as well. So Isaac, you can go first.
Okay, my name's Isaac Mwangi Kamau. I work for Unga Limited. I've been in the IT industry, give it over 20 years. And I've seen the evolution from the time guys were using MS-DOS to today that we are using Windows. I can't even tell you whether it's 15 or 19. And I've also been in the journey to see the industry evolve, especially manufacturing, and especially the IoT world. All the way from transducers to today we have IoT. So I believe I work for Unga Limited, which is now a manufacturing company, but also classified as an FMCG because we deal with human food, that is ugali, and the eggs and chapo, and we also deal with animal feed. So the chicken you eat with the ugali comes from us.
Truly African. Thank you, Isaac. So I'm going to go to our panelists who are online. Maybe Edgar, if you can introduce yourself. Edgar, I think you're on mute. Okay, maybe Dominic, you can go first while Edgar is still sorting audio.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Dominic Kebenei. I am the group head of ICT for ABM Group of companies. ABM Group is a group of companies comprising of 4 companies. We have the Associated Battery Manufacturer, which is the battery manufacturer it's basically the largest battery manufacturer in East and Central Africa. We have the Chloride Exide, which is the marketing division of ABM. And then we have Solink East Africa, which is basically the solar supplier, or basically solar entity for the group of companies. And then lastly, we have Precision Plastics, which basically deals with the plastics injection module, but basically that manufactures plastic casings for the batteries and other products portfolio that we have. I am the group head of ICT. I look after the requirements for the group of companies. Chloride Exide has presence within East, basically Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And then we have market basically that spans across other regions within the COMESA region, that is across Rwanda. We are into Nigeria, now we are into Ghana, across so basically we have very good presence within the African region. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dominic. Edgar?
Sorry, I got dropped there. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Good. Excellent. So my name is Edgar, and calling over from West Africa, BAT Nigeria. I'm the cluster lead for BAT Nigeria, West and Central Africa. And just to give a bit of background, my background is civil engineering, done an MBA and MSc Information Systems. And really my purpose in BAT is to deliver a better tomorrow for our customers, consumers, employees, shareholders, and community. And we focus on combustible value growth, step change into new categories, and simplifying the company.
All right. Thank you, Edgar. Carol?
Thank you. My name is Carol Koech. I'm the country president for Schneider Electric in East Africa. Schneider Electric is an energy management and process automation organization. We're a global company present in more than 100 countries. And really, we help organizations manage their energy and processes efficiently. And we do this with sustainability being the heart of our strategy. We are doing a lot of work here in East Africa. We are working closely with a number of manufacturing organizations, and we are helping to educate the market around the value that digitization brings, especially in the manufacturing processes. And most recently, we have worked with the Kenya Association of Manufacturers to support the Energy Management Awards, and we did sponsor a digitization award in that event.
All right, Carol, thank you. So currently we are in the fourth industrial revolution, and over the years, in all these revolutions, we've seen the growth of machines. And as machines grow in this industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, we are talking now about smart machines. And there's a photo that I had shared with you. I don't know if we can get it up for our audiences. When it comes to humans and machines, how may we collaborate? Because now there's the issue of the threat that has been there when new machinery comes in. For example, now, just a rare example, when the calculator was invented, a lot of accountants maybe were afraid that their jobs were being taken by the calculator, but then now we learned how to work with it and make things better. So maybe I'll start with you, Isaac. What's the threat that machines bring to us? Is there really a threat, and should we be afraid?
Given that you started with the Industrial Revolution, if you step back and check how the revolution has been happening, is that at every stage of the revolution, human beings have been giving out something to the machines to do. It first of all started with the heavy lifting on the mechanical side. It came now to the steam, it came to the petrol engines, diesel engines, and then now finally it came to a point whereby it was giving them the repetitive kind of duties that require some simple logic, not thinking, logic, like a robot, pick, drop. And then finally we've come to this age of AI, whereby now we are releasing another level of workload from our side, the thinking side, the logical side. The question is, are we threatened? We cannot say we are threatened because we are the one releasing. How far do we want to go in terms of releasing our functionality as human beings? Human beings have a conscience, and these machines do not have. There are some areas whereby if you program them and you give them an algorithm to go by, it will still require human intervention. I'll give you an example. If you're having a parking that has a camera, CCTV camera that has character recognition, hooking it up with the payment and billing, but if the car comes with mud on the number plate, then you still need this guy to go in there and assist.
And confirm the plate.
If there's a new process, a guy has to go in and build the algorithm. So what we do, we give to the machines. Normally we are giving them the liberty to work on our behalf, but not the autonomy. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe Dominic, if you could share, what are your thoughts about this? Are we threatened by smart machines, and not just machines?
Thank you. Yeah. So to pick up on what Isaac has actually said, I think there's always a balance in between there, where we have a number of team, especially the shop floor team. I will give an example specifically on our factory side, where we have basically the team who basically manages the equipment or basically runs the factory machines. So of course, with introduction of a new of computer-aided equipments, there's normally that threat that they feel that yes, it is coming to replace. Of course, in number of circumstances, at times, there actually you'll get their losses because, say, for example, if you automate some key processes, like what Isaac talked about, where you're introducing a robot to pick something, maybe picking constant goods that are being released from the factory equipment. So yes, there's normally requires a lot of daily discussions, or be it from the supervisors, be it also through HR, to just educate the team on basically where the strategy of the organization is going. Or other organizations are looking at it in terms of maybe cutting costs by introducing, say, robots. Like, for example, for us, we have a production line that it's almost before would be run by, say, about 12 operators, machine operators. Today, with the introduction of the robots, we have two robots that are constantly basically picking the various components within the production of our batteries. Today, we are having only two operators. One is a supervisor and the other one is just a machine operator. So yes, there's normally that balance. So there's normally a threat that some team feel that, yes, there will be job losses in between. At times it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, if in the case that where you now take the team and subject them to maybe more other productive roles as opposed to just be doing like repetitive tasks. So it's normally a delicate balance. Of course, the strategy of every organization is to, as much as possible, reduce on the human, the number of basically the employees, and it's normally a myriad of so many other factors. Looking at the safety, like for example, for us, we are into an environment where we have, for example, we have lead being released. Or basically this handle, we have acid in between. So again, as an organization, the strategy is to cut down on all that, the safety issues that comes in between having so many human beings handling the process, improving on the quality by making sure that you have the equipment. So yes, it is there, but normally has to be really managed very well.
Thank you, Dominic. That's well put. And just to bring the audience up to par with what we are discussing. So this is the image I had shared with the team. They said a picture is worth 1,000 words. Humans are hooked, machines are learning. Because this is something that as much as we are teaching these machines to help us with tasks by using AI and ML, do we have a threat? Because now the machines are the ones that are doing a lot of learning, and we are basically we're not learning much because we have taught them, and now that they are adapting and they are coming up with new solutions, and they are also coming up with new ways to improve our processes. So are we really under threat? And I'll take it now to Edgar to share his thoughts on that.
Sure. So I'll start with a picture. And when I looked at the picture and have it on screen, there was this droid, R2D2, I can call, drawing in color, and C3PO is reading. So those who know what I'm talking about. So, but I look at the people, they look like without souls, a dystopian gray future, not free. And as I mentioned, we need a balance, that awareness. And human is community. Human is to express yourself freely. You look at all the robots, it's drawing a plant in color. So we need to think about the legacy of the future, our environment. So when I look at machines, it's really not about being worried. It's about being concerned. We need to be concerned about the rapid evolution and the governance, use and misuse of machines and technology, the impact on culture, the social fabric and constructs, safety and security of data. The risk ought to drive the discourse. And I'll give an example, ChatGPT. It's very nice and dandy to take your company information and throw it there. Guess what? You've just exposed your company information to someone out there in the world. And that machine is going to learn. So basically, the risks of issues like most confidential information being leaked out. So I don't look at it as a threat, but needs to be looked at from a concern. What is the likelihood of a risk occurring? What is the impact as a company, as an individual? How are we prepared for that future? Because the technology is rapidly evolving.
Thank you, Edgar. So Isaac was adamant, and he said that we are not under threat. Dominic said that this kind of a balance. According to Edgar, we need to be concerned because it's something that we need to be aware about. So, Carol, what's your thought on this?
So, working for an organization that actually drives this technology. In fact, one of our product offerings is called HMI, Human Machine Interface. That's just one of the things that we do, and I'm sure for the people that operate in the manufacturing sector, they know what a HMI is. And for me, I see, one, it is inevitable. Yeah. So this artificial intelligence and machines taking over a number of processes is inevitable. We need it to bring better productivity. We need it to be more efficient in the way we run our operations. And technology is something that, I remember in the early 2000s or in the late 90s, for those of you that, were in the workplace or at least aware, there was a lot of scare about the dot-com boom and the 2000. But guess what? Here we are in 2023, and technology continues to evolve. True. So every technological trend brings a lot of scare, but we adapt very quickly. I think for me, what we need is how do we maximize the value that these machines bring to get most value and therefore release human beings to do more high value work and also to do more thinking. Think about innovation. Innovation is not being done by machines, it's being done by people. But machines are enabling those innovations to be productive. So the way I see is not a threat. I see an opportunity, and also I see a great opportunity to upskill, to be able to maintain and support these evolving technologies. So if you think about it, from some of the technologies we deploy in Kenya today, we are struggling a lot to find skills, to find people that can deploy those technologies. And we then as an OEM are having to build capacity for people to be able to understand and then therefore deploy the technologies. So it's not a threat. I actually think it's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity. So let me take it to Dominic, because Carol has talked about it being an opportunity, which means that there needs to be a collaboration. We need to learn how to seize this opportunity. So maybe, Dominic, based on your experience in the industry, in the manufacturing industry, what do you think, how do you think we can ensure that humans and machines collaborate to improve the manufacturing processes and just to improve the manufacturing sector, not just in Kenya, but say Africa as a continent?
Yeah, okay, sure. So I think as I was doing an introduction of our group of companies, so ABM is owned by partly Kenyan, and there's another shareholder who is based in South Africa called Meta Group. So for us, what we normally do, for example, because sometimes we collaborate a lot in terms of getting to learn, but just picking on what Koech has said about upskilling and reskilling of our workforce. So what we do for most of the time for us is we do a lot of benchmark visits. We do synergies, basically of exchanging our team. Say, for example, sometimes we send our teams to learn from the other company to see how best they are doing it. Like, for example, I think early this month we had a team, we had sent them to South Africa to benchmark with one of our sister companies in South Africa called First Battery Manufacturer, just to see how best they are running the equipment, so that way they're able to bring back the same skill and be able to help us improve in terms of our productivity. We're able to improve the efficiency of the same equipment. So so as an organization, or as a strategy that we are doing as an organization, one of the biggest things that we do is doing a lot of benchmark visits. So So from there, we've realized that we're able to pick a lot of things, or our team are able to learn from the other team, and back they're able to come and implement the same, or basically borrow some of the skills that they've learned from our sister companies. And from there, we're able to improve our productivity because now they're able to run the equipment much better, and we get proper basically able to improve our productivity. Yeah.
And I believe that was very helpful, seeing that other companies are already collaborating with their machines and things are getting and you see the improvement that's there in those companies as well. Maybe Isaac, how would you? I know you say that there's no threat. Then now this means that it doesn't mean, but it insinuates that maybe you know how we can actually utilize this smart machinery, for the betterment of our manufacturing sector.
Sure. If you're looking at the manufacturing industry, there are normally three main areas. Yeah. There is the input, your raw materials. How do you receive them efficiently and in the best price?
Yeah.
Number two, there is the processing. How do you process it at the lowest cost with the minimum resources, cost of production? And finally, there is now the output. How do you make sure that whatever you release gets to the intended person using the most efficient logistical method? So all those three areas are opportunities whereby you can collaborate with the machines. At the entrance, like in our place, because we're allowed to also speak about where we come from. We have at Unga Limited, at the reception, we have automated the weighbridge system. When the lorry gets on top of the weighbridge, if it's delivering, we'll be able to do the PO. We'll be able to know who has brought it just through the number plate alone and the registration you've done before. And this guy will be cleared in a very short time. We're talking of efficiency here. And then by the time he reaches the place for delivery, we have decided to use hands. I'll tell you why. Even as you plan to do your smart industry, you should consider whether you want to be efficient or effective. So as we have decided to be effective, as in that we do not just want to rake in profits, we also want to create jobs. There are areas you can keep jobs, and there are areas now you'll have to be efficient. When you go to the production, that's where we brought in our efficiency. We have leveraged on SCADA systems, and we are looking at a situation whereby we'll be able to get the MRP, that's the material requirements planning, of what we need, not just giving us a purchase requisition, but actually making an order in the company where we get our products from. Yeah. Now, these two machines in our environment and the one in their environment, it should go in as a PO and trigger even a production order on their side. All we'll do is, and then the next thing, it triggers a delivery from one of the many vehicles. But then hope we'll have smart vehicles, and it brings to our yard again, and we start the process. So that's how I'm looking at a smart industry. But as Unga, we've made quite a big progress in terms of efficiency and also effectiveness. We consider that, because I told you we're in charge. We don't want to automate everything. There are areas whereby let the community also be part of it.
So humans still are in charge.
We are in charge.
Okay. Now to you, Carol. At Schneider Electric, you talked about the product that you have used AI, I believe. So maybe in your opinion and in your experience, how do you think humans and machines can collaborate to improve the manufacturing sector in Africa, or maybe the globe as well?
So I think human beings.
Yeah, it's on.
Human beings actually are the ones that drive decisions. And when you make machines smart, they help you to have more insights and therefore make better decisions. So for me, that is how I see the collaboration. I'll give you a few examples of some of the work we've done with a number of our customers, but let me just speak on one. So we have done what we call an integrated energy management solution with a tea manufacturing company. And what we did was very basic, installed a number of sensors and meters across their operations. And with that information, the human beings that used to go and read meters every single day, it's been fully automated. So now they are able to look back and say, oh, how come we are losing so much power at this hour? So this particular company had installed solar systems, and they wanted to install additional because they felt that their power bills were not coming down. But then when they installed this automated system, they realized that during the peak hour of solar generation, which was at midday, that's when they were doing the shift change. Therefore, their demand was lower. And so they then realized that they didn't need to make any additional installation, but rather change the time they're doing the shift and therefore maximize the power they're generating at midday. So the way then I see the collaboration is, look, machines have been able to actually give you insights that you don't need to make additional investment. And you know, this is significant monetary gain that you can get. This is just one example, but we have thousands of them. And just to correct you earlier, what I said is we don't use, we are actually an IoT company. So we have a lot of these gadgets and technology that makes machines speak to human beings. So we actually enable that interface as Schneider Electric.
Oh, well noted, Donald. Thank you, Carol. And so you've talked about decisions, and that's something that as people have been talking about it in the technology sector. The way, if we are letting AI take over, if we're not letting them take over, but if you are giving them a lot of these tasks and smart machines as well, there's also the issue of decisions. How do we warrant this the right decision? Because it's not the same thing that would have happened if it was a human doing that. And maybe I'll throw this to Edgar as he winds up with this question. How, in his opinion, does he think that humans and machines can collaborate, and also speak a little bit about the fact of letting these machines actually make decisions for you?
Okay, cool. Thank you, Kevin. So I just want to start by saying that BAT uses the IWS framework developed by Procter & Gamble, that is Integrated Work Systems. And there's two key things I want us to keep in the back of our mind. One, the most important drive is a culture of 100% employee engagement. We didn't say machine, 100% employee engagement, and a zero loss mindset. And underpinned by engagement and zero loss mindset is data analysis, visualization, automation, and gamification, and every other thing that comes to the space of digital transformation, digital technology manufacturing. Now with that, 5 things come to my mind. The first one is time in motion studies and assessments to determine optimal location, crewing, and management. That's something machine learning can do in a cinch if you give it the right data sets. The second thing is using IoT, as mentioned earlier, support decision making when it comes to energy, water, and carbon emissions. And in BAT, we focus on scope 1, 2, and 3 carbon emissions. Water reduction, actually, you do not want to use any water from the environment. We want to have 100% recycling. And then lastly, circular economy and ESG. These are all elements that IoT technology can really help us fast track and also accelerate. The third thing is process improvement and empowerment. Like I mentioned, IoT is machines talking to humans. But guess what? In BAT, we use that same data to calculate microstops. And a microstop says that there's something happening on the machine. It could be changeover. It could be cleaning, inspecting, and lubing. These microstops are loss of time, loss of efficiency, loss of energy. And what we do is calculate these microstops using IoT and determine the efficiency and drive. We look at overall equipment efficiency and mean time between failure. When a factory hits 15 minutes mean time between failure, you're doing very well. There are other companies, factories that do up to 45 minutes. That is continuous running of a machine. During those 45 minutes, the human mind is looking at how best can we improve. So those are some of the areas that come to mind in BAT's using them. Our fourth is machine vision, and that's purely machine and human beings collaborating, looking at product defects. High-speed camera on a conveyor belt can determine materials coming to the factory that are defective, or final products leaving the factory that are defective, they don't meet the consumer and customer expectation. BAT is focused on consumer value, customer value. And for us, we use machines to actually quickly determine it, for us to, again, rip out these defective products and recycle them again. It's all about ESG. At the end of the day, it's turning insights to foresights to support decision-making. And this is where humans, machine come together. Data underpins it. And just to end it off, the integrated work process is what BAT uses. And underneath, two things: 100% engagement and zero loss mindset. Thank you.
Thank you, Edgar. And I think you'll allow me to take that as your parting shot, because it was you really wound it all up and said it begins with forecast, and then before you have to focus before decision making. So I'll now, because of time, we'll have only a minute each for parting shots, and I'll start with Dominic. Dominic, your parting shot.
Yeah, my parting shot is human machine collaboration is here to stay. It is the way to go for every organization. I think as we for any manufacturing entity, or for any basically corporate or business entity, for them to remain agile and be competitive. The aspect of digitization is something that every organization must get into. Of course, as Edgar has put it, it is about involving all the stakeholders to make sure that everyone is engaged at every stage. But it is the journey that every organization should take advantage. There are a lot of benefits, be it in terms of your productivity, improving your quality of the products. Like, for example, for us, we have equipment that are able to verify for us the quality of the product. So that means we are able to save in terms losing or basically reducing the scraps, or basically we are reducing on the warranty claims that will come back as a result of maybe products that are not that are released to the market and they've not been verified. So it's a good direction or strategy that every organization should embrace. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Isaac?
My parting shot is that when we got employed, it was permanent and pensionable, but now it is permanently changing and perishable. So if we continue getting hooked to these devices, it means that none of us will be learning. And then the question will end up being, who will take care of this technology that we've brought up? So it will either mean that if we don't continue learning and we keep hooked to these devices that we found running, we might go back to the Stone Age, because nobody's learning, nobody's updating the machines, they'll all crumble and fall. So my take on this is, we have to be cognizant of the fact that our roles are permanently changing and they're perishable. So they have to be kept renewed and fresh.
Thank you. The best for last. I know a lot of people say that ladies first, but I normally say best saved for last. Carol.
So I think for me, one of the comments I would say is that the machine and human collaboration is a great opportunity. It actually breaks down the location-specific manufacturing placements. I think we are now hearing comments around nearshoring versus offshoring, because the cost of labor then is no longer a factor of consideration. When you think about your manufacturing lines being driven a lot by robots, then labor costs no longer become a factor of consideration. So I see a great opportunity for learning and upskilling to be able to serve in the new human-machine world collaboration.
All right, thank you. Thank you, lady and gentlemen, for this amazing session. Thank you to our audience for being hooked up for the entire, I'm sure we went over 30 minutes, but thank you for being part of this, and back to you in studio.
Welcome to the Smart Industry Forum, where we discuss the latest tech developments and their impact on manufacturing and supply chain sectors in Africa. The forum will feature discussions on Industry 4.0 technologies in manufacturing, logistics, supply chain management, efficiency and productivity in smart factories, cybersecurity, and global trade impacts. Join us as we delve deeper into the industry world.